I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am whole. I peel back the layers of who worshipped me, the old conditioning, the past history. I strip away the labels, the weight and the names. I step out to shadows and out of the gates. My trials were clouds, not the sky that is true. I return to the essence, I'm starting anew. I stop living in moments that no longer exist. I release every memory I used to resist. The past has no power, the past has no tone. I find the melody I've always sung. I don't waste my breath from the if or the why. I let the old versions fade out and die. I am here in the now where the magic begins. This is the moment where light always wins. I choose my freedom over their mistakes. I heal the root when my power awakes. I don't hold a grudge, I don't carry the weight. I release the anger, I release the regret. Forgiveness is how I remain so secure. No bitterness lives in the temple I build. I move through the world and I feel so fulfilled. I am love, I am light, the frequency shining through the night. I am the source, I am the flow, the only truth I need to know. Every person I meet is a mirror I see, reflecting the state of the love inside me. If I see a shadow, I shine even more, until love is the only thing left on the floor. Nothing outside has control of my feel. To the power of love, I'm completely healed. I am the peace that I used to see. Love makes the ego look small and weak. See how love finds me every single day. See how kindness always leads the way. See how I am the frequency I hold. I am the spirit, I am the goal. See how blessings follow my name. I am the spark, I am the flame. Every new breath is an upgrade in time. I am abundance, I am divine. I am love, I am light, the frequency shining through the night. I am the source, I am the flow, the only truth I need to know. I choose to see beauty, I choose to see grace. I see the divine in every face. Negative energy has no place in my mind. I leave all the heaviness drifting behind. The highest vibration is where I reside, with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. I am the ripple, I am the sea, I am the love that sets everyone free. My heart is an open, eternal door. I don't need to search for signs anymore. I am the answer, I am the way, I am the sun in the middle of day. I am grounded in truth, rooted in peace, as I love my I am peace. I am whole.
Yeah, there we go. Good evening and welcome. If we have not yet met, my name's Denise, and you are at the Do Better Virtual Ranch. Thanks for being here. I see you guys in the chat. Thanks for showing up early. That's awesome. Hey, Ed, I got my little prize. I'm coming. 99% sure I'm coming. Just saying. All right, welcome. I've got a fun show for you. I am going to stretch your minds tonight, if you will allow me to. I'm going to present some things that might shift your perspective, which is what we do here. Because if we shift our perspective, if we keep learning, then we do better. So, and that's the whole theme of the Do Better Ranch. So welcome, sit back, enjoy the ride. Please find the chat, say hi, hit the buttons, do the things, share it out. You know the stuff. That's enough. But I have, if you were able to join when I kicked off at 5:55 my time, you just heard a song called I Am the Source, and I am absolutely obsessed with this song. It is one of 5 that the High Vibration Shift has published. I secured, I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. This is a big deal to me. I actually approached those folks this week. I don't know who they are. I think they're in Holland, in the Netherlands. Not sure. I did invite them on the show, but they're not ready yet. They're going to stay as anons. But I reached out to them, and because that song just lifts my frequency, lifts my vibration, I wanted it to be part of the show. And I'm going to use it in different parts as I progress, but they let me license for a fee. It's a small fee, but they let me license that song. So now the YouTube goons won't take down my videos if I use their stuff. So anyways, that was a big coup for me. So thank you. If you like that song, I might be playing it again a little bit later. So it's just a good. I know. Prairie, that's the floaty hearts are from Zoom, and I can make them if I make the maybe sometimes. Yeah, there they go. I don't know. That's a camera thing. It's hooked to my Zoom. I don't know. The floaty hearts are fun. Yeah, I can't wait, Ed. All right. So hat tip to the High Vibration Shift. You can find them out on Spotify. You can find them out on YouTube. TikTok is where I found them. I have already noticed that some folks are copying their style. So anyways, show them a little love. The High Vibration Shift. They're just lovely folks. So anyways, Prairie, anytime you need some hearts, I can make those hearts happen. And I think I can. I don't know. There they are. And I can send you hearts anytime, Prairie. Prairie's over on pilled.net, the place for true free speech. If you don't have a pilled.net account, why? Come over there. There's no censorship over there. I don't have to worry about YouTube goons or Rumble goons or, people that say they support free speech, but they really don't because they censor our voice, and I'm not having it. So support the folks out over on pilled.net. That would be lovely. But tonight, like we do here on the ranch, I have some tidbits you may not have heard about for America 250. I want to talk about some good humans. You know me, I love learning. So I learned something new this week and I want to share it with you. It was completely unexpected, but I'll share that with you in a minute. I want to talk about George Washington. I'm all over the board. I know I'm all over the board. Just sit back and enjoy it. This is free entertainment, right? But I have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to knit all together for us. But I want to talk about George Washington. I want to talk about, of course, power, the R power, the power that is intrinsic, that's built into us. I want to talk about free power. And I got to skate that a little delicately because I am a vendor for a utility, so I'm going to skirt that just a little bit. I'm going to play a what if game with you. But it is Patriot season. Let me start here. It is Patriot season. You know, I've declared that. You won't find it on the calendars. Maybe somebody will catch on and just make it an actual holiday season. Hey, Ren, nice to have you here, baby girl. Love to have you here. She's probably bouncing between Pilled and Rumble because she's that good. Anyways, but it's Patriot season. So the very first thing I want to do, and I didn't get his picture loaded into StreamYard here. So I'm going to just do a visual aid. Listen, every week since the beginning of May, I have started highlighting a fallen soldier, because if you don't say their names, they're forever forgotten. And so this week, I wanted to share one that I had heard about. Just a kid. Look at that. He's just a kid. That's Paul Byer, Army PFC Paul A. Byer, and 21 years old. All right. So today we honor Army PFC Paul A. Byer, a young man whose courage, kindness, and quiet generosity left a mark on everyone who knew him. Paul was 21 years old, from Jamestown, North Dakota, proudly served with the 2nd Battalion, 502nd Infantry Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team. He saw the crap. 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault, out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. On June 23rd, 2006, Paul gave his life after an IED detonated near his Humvee during combat operations near Baghdad in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Also killed was Staff Sergeant Mario I'm not going to say it, Bievre. I'm not going to try saying that. But Paul was born in St. Paul. That's interesting. And raised in Jamestown from the age of 4. He graduated from Jamestown High School in 2003. He loved camping, fishing, rock music, movies, jokes, and time spent with friends. The simple joys that reveal the heart of a young man grounded in family, friendship, and laughter. Those who served beside him remember something more. Paul was the soldier who gave away the candy sent from home to Iraqi children, staying close to make sure no one took it from them. Friends, family, and fellow soldiers say that kind of generosity wasn't an exception. It was just who he was. So today we say his name with gratitude, Army PFC, Paul A. Byer. So that's how I'm celebrating Patriot season. Hope you find a way to remember those are fallen. We're coming up on Memorial Day, where we really remember the fallen. In fact, let me just start. Let me see. I have a picture for this one, I think. I don't know if you have been to Arlington, go ahead and tell me in the chat. If you've been to the Arlington Cemetery, tell me in the chat. Ren, you have the greatest stickers. Okay, you got to get over to Pilled. Gang, the stickers on Pilled are just hilarious. It's so much fun. They communicate so many things. But we are live on X, YouTube, Pilled, and Rumble right now. So, all right, let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Here, I got it. I'll just upload it. Hang on. Where'd you go? Here it is. There we go. Okay. Not just Arlington, but any National Veterans Cemetery, even local cemeteries like the one near the farm where I grew up in Pennsylvania, the Grandview Cemetery. By the way, Shoot. A moment of silence. A family friend who runs that cemetery and the crematory next to it, Bill Forst, passed away this week. So I'm sure him and my dad are having a good time. But at the Grandview Cemetery, my ancestors are there. My ancestors who fought in the Revolutionary War. My ancestors that fought in the Civil War. They are in Soldier Circle at the top of the hill at Grandview Cemetery. And often if you spend time in a cemetery, which I would recommend, it's very sobering. It's a very peaceful way to honor those who served. Oh, good job, Ren. Yeah, I've been there too. The wreath-laying cemetery at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I think every American needs to see that at least once. And if you can't travel, watch it on YouTube or some video. It's well worth your time. Very solemn. So anyways, so if you are in a cemetery, especially where they designate the special areas for soldiers, you may see coins on headstones. Now, I don't know how this may carry forward because a lot of people get cremated now. So I'm not sure how that transposes. But, oh, yeah, Billy Forst passed away. It was Monday or Tuesday, yesterday, Ed. I'm not sure. I think it was Monday. Yeah. Anyway, so a penny, if you see a penny, which penny to me, that's the sign from the heavens that that's dad talking to me. So, but a penny means you just stop by to pay your respects. If you lay a nickel, maybe you went to boot camp with them. If you leave a dime, you were in the armed forces in combat with them. And if you leave a quarter, you were there when they passed. So anyways, just a little Americana, if you'd like. To pass along and maybe share. All right, let me pull that down. Yeah, I got a little choked up about that. All right. Also this week, hold on. Nope, not that one. Oh, it's right here. It was right here in my hand, for heaven's sakes. Okay, since I'm talking about Patriot season, this may be something that you could also look into. It just so happens that yesterday, in 1778, George Washington signed the Oath of Allegiance. Here, let me show you a picture of it. To the United States. I know it's not a very good copy. Just remember when you're reading the older English, things that look like an F are actually an S. Anyways, so on May 12th, 1778, George Washington signed the Oath of Allegiance to the United States, symbolizing his commitment to the United States to be free. That's the whole underbelly of power tonight. To be free, independent, and sovereign states, and the people thereof owe no allegiance or obedience to George III. Now, if you can't read that, or if it's too tiny, let me try and translate the picture that's on the screen. It says, and in cursive, it has George Washington, Commander-in-Chief of the Armies of the United States of America, do acknowledge the United States of America to be free, independent. They had a lisp, and sovereign states, and declare that the people thereof owe no allegiance or obedience to George III, King of Great Britain. And I renounce, refute, and abjure any allegiance or obedience to him. And I do, George Washington, your name here, Denise Murray, that I will, to the utmost of my power, support maintain and defend the said United States against the said King George III, his heirs and his successors, and his or their abettors of assistance and adherents, and will serve the said United States in the office of, I think that says Commander in Chief, but I'm not sure, which I now hold with fidelity according to the best of my skill and understanding. How about that? How about that? Nice job, George. Nice job, George. Now, I do have something that is actually. Oh, Prairie, your dad is at the National Cemetery in Sarasota. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we have several. We have a national cemetery down in Phoenix, which is about from here. That cemetery is maybe 100 miles from me. But I've actually gone and laid wreaths on Memorial Day years ago, pre-heat stroke, at the National Cemetery. Yeah, yeah, it's tough, but that's how we remember. We say their names, we tell their stories. That's how they are never forgotten, and their lives are not given in vain. Yeah, 100%. So this is a George adjacent story. Let me pull this down, pull that off. Okay, this is the universe is full of synchronicities. And this was just amazing to me. You guys know that I have talked about George many, many, many times on this show. I love George. I love what he stood for. Nice, tall man, leader of the country. He dressed the part, right? I've talked about how he dressed like a general before he was a general. He dressed like a president before he was president. Yeah, I love cemeteries too, but I did a lot of family history, Ren, so I've traipsed through many, many, many cemeteries. Yeah, yeah, good stuff. All right, I've got a little TikTok that I want to share with you. Now, this guy, I don't know why he popped up on my feed. I don't know why. I don't know why, but he did. Enjoy this.
This day, April 30th, 1789, George Washington took the stage for this country's first inauguration. He and John Adams were both wearing brown fabric from the Hartford woolen manufacturer. Up until this point, for hundreds of years, the people in America had depended on British imports. We know this now, everything's made in China. George Washington decided on his inauguration day he was going to send a message. And he decided to send that message through his outfit, wearing American broadcloth. As this new nation was formed, we should support American manufacturing. We should support American jobs. We should create infrastructure here. With America's 250th anniversary, I have my fabric for my next suit with lining celebrating 250 years of this country. It'll be a navy suit with a gray vest. This fabric was woven at American Woolen in Connecticut. We're just doing what George Washington wanted. We're supporting American manufacturing. We're creating American jobs. We're supporting American jobs. And just like he was doing something very uncertain, very risky, is there an easier way? Absolutely. Are we interested in it? Absolutely not. This is clothing made in America.
That's Bard's Clothing, BARDS Clothing on TikTok. He may be out on other channels. The algorithm probably triggered, something. It listened to my phone talking about George Washington. I don't know what it was, but anyways, I thought that was cool. I love sewing. I used to do a lot of it. I'm hoping to someday get back to it. But that's just cool. And it reminds me of somebody else we know who is trying to bring back manufacturing to the United States, who's trying to get people to see the value in it. And I thought maybe you've heard this story, maybe not, but I wanted to share this story as well about President Trump. I did get this off of TikTok. Let me pop the picture up. All right. Now, You guys know that he went to the military academy. You know that he's fastidious, right? He always looks nice. I love that gold tie as he was heading into China this morning. China. Yeah. So here's the story. If you maybe you don't know this story, if you do, just humor me. Despite being a billionaire and a president, Donald J. Trump keeps a daily routine that he began more than 60 years ago, and that he has never stopped shining his own shoes. It's not his staff, not the hotel service, not a shoe shine guy. He himself, with his own hands, polish and time. The White House staff has offered to do it for him countless times, but he always answers, "My father taught me that a man shines his own shoes. That builds character." It reminds you that no matter how successful you are not above basic discipline. Since the 50s, while building his empire and becoming president, Trump has followed this tradition every morning, even before important meetings or presidential briefings. His motto, "The day you believe you're too important to shine your own shoes will be the day you've lost your character." More than 60 years of silent discipline, which almost nobody knows, but which shows the true character is built in small, daily actions, even when no one is watching you. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that story? I found it fascinating. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. All right, let's see. I got a couple other stories. Let's see. Let's scratch some of this stuff off. Oh, okay. I did tell you about Patriot season, right? That, by the way, that's May 1st through midnight on Veterans Day, just for the record. Hope you've got decorations out, especially since it's the 250th. Remember our fallen, remember our veterans, remember those still serving. And that means on Fridays, wear something red, gang. Get you a little red scarf, get you a little red bracelet, do something. Even a little bauble on your finger, whatever it is. I don't care if it's red undies. I don't care. But something that says, I put a little thought into what today is for Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed. Red Friday. All right. Okay, let's see. All right. I don't know how to pull it up yet on StreamYard. I'm having trouble sharing sound through a tab. I don't know why. But if you guys are so inclined, you may want to go out to the America 250, America250.org site. Just a reminder that this Saturday is the word just went out of my head. Rededication. The rededication on the mall at the Washington Monument in DC. Moment of prayer to rededicate Washington, DC. If you know, you know. That place has been, we're taking it back. Let's just put it that way. So that's this Friday. And then there's also coming up on the 4th of July. They're making it a National Day of Gratitude. And if you've rolled with me for more than 5 minutes, you know that's how I roll. Kindness and gratitude every day, all day. Yep. Yeah. Awesome, Ren. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, go check out America 250. It's just fantastic. Just fantastic. All right. I've got a couple more stories before I get into the power stuff. You know how we roll here. We love the good humans, and there's so many out there. If you are currently having a hard time, and I stripped a gear on Sunday. It was just a hard day. I don't know. Some days it's just like that. It just piles up sometimes, and nothing. A couple good conversations and a nice long drive, and a little retail therapy actually got me back in track. But everybody does that. Everybody goes through the crap Everybody's carrying a burden you know nothing about. So be nice, be kind, be grateful for what you have. There are good humans everywhere, and we love them on the Do Better Ranch. Coming up in June, I'm going to reissue the second Good Human Award from the Do Better Ranch. Last year, the inaugural winner of that award was, because it's highly scientific, I just picked somebody. That was our friend Enoch, and his handle is at Newsblast17. If you're not already following him on the platforms, please go do that. He does amazing work. Been doing it for a long time. He's recently released a new digital album that he created using AI, and it's a journey for sure. So go listen to his music. I'm hoping I can get that on. I just didn't clear it with him in time for the show, but go show Enoch some love. He was my inaugural recipient for the Good Human Award. I look for examples of people who are good humans all year long, and I like to share those with you guys. Here's one that I found. All right. This is just amazing. Here we go.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better.
What's the guy in the purple hoodie?
Four cold Decembers I recall, and I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I know the things He gives me, He can take away. And I hold you every night, and that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you.
Look at that. It's all about the kids, baby. The guy in the purple hoodie had front seats, and he went up the stairs looking for somebody in the nosebleed section and gave his tickets to that father and son. That's pretty cool. That's a good human. Love that. Love that. Here's some more good humans.
Hi.
Hi.
You want a
The
hug?
sign
Yeah.
says if you
How
have
are
been
you?
through depression
good.
or
What's going on?
anxiety, free
Postpartum.
hug.
It's new to me.
How do you stay so strong?
My daughter,
How old's your daughter now?
9 months.
You have a message for any other moms out there?
You're strong. You're doing an amazing job.
I struggle with depression, and the only thing that helped me during that time was to help others.
Oh my.
I would love to make people happy with you if you want to do that with me today.
Yes.
I'm Zach, by the way. What was your name?
Lily.
Can I take my blindfold off? Is that
Yes.
cool? Want to go buy at a flower shop with $1,000 to me?
Yes. I'm so excited.
Is this your shop?
Yeah.
I'm Zach.
Hello.
This is Lele.
Hi,
Nice to
how
meet
are
you. My
you?
name is Alex.
Where are you from?
Cuba.
¿Cuántas flores para 1000?
Para $1000.
Sí.
¿En serio?
¿En serio? Sí.
¿Cuántas flores para $1000?
Sí.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna surprise him. We have 10 grand.
No. ¿Y tu familia está allá?
Completa.
¿En Cuba?
Esposa, hijos, madre,
Cuba?
todas.
When's the last time you seen them?
Bueno, físicamente hace 2 años,
Two years.
cuando nos despedimos en el aeropuerto. Cuando dejas a hijos y dejas esos lazos fuertes allá, falta algo, falta como que cariño.
Sí.
We actually have one more gift for you.
Wow.
$10,000.
$10,000. No, no, no. Sí, 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 sí.
No.
Sí.
No.
Sí, sí, sí. Sí.
Wow. No, gracias. Gracias, mano. Gracias.
Love you.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Por Dios.
Mira, ha pasado una cosa increíble. Me acaban de regalar $10,000.
I want to be a testimony of this. 2 days ago, I was talking mad about you on TikTok. Like, bro, this guy has to be booked. And today I show up and you're doing it, bro. It gives me
Sir, I know you ordered the bouquet. Just wanted to make sure we got it to your girl.
Si quiere unas flores,
Sí, claro.
para que tengan un bonito día.
Ok, encantado, un placer.
For you.
Thank you, man.
Guys deserve flowers too, man. Love you, bro.
Excuse me. Esto para usted. Ay, gracias. Esto para usted.
Gracias, mi amor.
¿Cómo estás? Bien. Te quería dar una
Bueno, el Señor me lo bendiga todo. Gracias.
Sí.
Gracias, mi niña.
¿Ya terminaste tu trabajo?
Sí, sí, trabajo de lunes a viernes ahí en el
Ah, sí.
Sí, ahí tengo ahí 24 años.
24 years working.
24 years.
Ya tengo 78 años.
¿Nombre?
Teresita.
Teresita.
Mucho gusto, mi amor.
Teníamos un regalo para ti.
¿Sí?
Sí. Sí.
Ay, señores,
$5,000 para ti.
Oh my God.
Sí.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Muchísimas gracias. Oh, Jehová.
Te queremos, Teresita.
I love that stuff. That's your dose for this week. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Gang, there are good humans doing good things all the time. Do I wish he was giving me that money? Absolutely. But I am happy for those people. They obviously needed it. The surprise was genuine. And I know there are a lot of people like the guy that came up and said, I was just talking about you this week on TikTok about how it's probably BS and it's just crap. And here I see you doing what you put on TikTok. Yeah, we should maybe tap the brakes a little bit on the judgment. So, yeah. Yep, that's the dose, Ren. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. Good. That's our good humans. Oh, this is just happy. It's just happy. Let me get, I got 2 more before I get to the power stuff. There, come on.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That's the song I sing to Boo. And I was waiting for him because he's not in bed yet. And I was waiting for him to start whistling. It's just a happy song. We deserve happy. If you have not seen this one, there is, well, I got 2 equal things for you. Check this out. Oops. Yeah. Pretty cool. Eagle watching the launch. Yep. Oh, here it is. I already had it. Check this out. So I don't know if you've seen this one. Wildlife photographer Terry Nunn captured an extremely rare leucocytic. That means all white, not albino, leucocytic. Bald eagle in Missouri after reportedly spending hours tracking the bird through difficult terrain. Unlike albinism, leucism, not sure about that, causes a major loss of pigmentation in feathers while keeping the eagle's normal eye color and vision intact, giving it a striking pale appearance. Sightings like this are incredibly uncommon, with some estimates suggesting birds like this appear only once in tens of thousands. The photos quickly went viral online, with many people calling it one of the most beautiful eagle sightings ever captured on camera. That is Terry Nunn Photography, if you want to go follow him. Gang, if you know the Hopi legend, there's a Hopi legend about a white buffalo will appear. I don't know if there's any legends about a white eagle, but I find it fascinating that it's this particular year. Coincidence? Not so sure about that. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Okay. So, okay. Good. All right. Leucistic. Oh, Ren would know. Absolutely. Leucistic. Thank you, Ren. Look at her giving me sound phonetic spelling. Thank you, Ren. Okay. So a couple things I wanted to talk about with power is it's been 25 years or more ago, I discovered the cutest little man over in Sedona, Arizona, which for me is just up the mountain and across about a 2-hour drive. His name is Dr. David Hawkins, not Hawking like Stephen Hawking, Hawkins, maybe like Tim Hawkins, the comedian. And he was pretty funny, but that fella, he was like 5 foot nothing and just skinny little man. And he had the best laugh. But if you haven't heard of his work, he has, I don't know, 14, 17 books out there that you can read up on the map of consciousness. And I will tell you, it is one of those books that gets under your skin. It seems impenetrable at first, but the concept is power versus force. Power is staying grounded. Power is staying with what you know, staying in the vibration that adds to your life, staying with positive things. Like when I go to visit Ed and Tammy, their house is just full of that stuff. I love being in places like that. But you could do it wherever you are. And so what I thought I would do is just share some of the highlights of his work with you tonight. Maybe it will help, because that's what we do here at the Do Better Ranch. We learn, we keep learning, we keep growing, we do better. So hopefully this might resonate with you and maybe help you out a little bit. Let me see. Where's that picture? Oh, it's still in downloads. Here it is. I'm going to share 2 pictures. Let me get one more. I had so many pictures to share. StreamYard only lets me put a couple up at a time. All right. So I know this might be woo-woo for some of you, but bear with me for just a minute. So you are an energy-making machine. That's just for visual purposes up on the screen, by the way. I just downloaded it from Shutterstock today. Okay. You got your chakras, and that's a whole different topic for another thing. I'm not making you any particular, it doesn't have to do with any particular religion. In fact, it's above and beyond all of that. Each one of us are connected. Each one of us are energy powerhouses. And there are known thousands and thousands of years study, Hindu, Buddhism, the Far East religions, if you will, of energy centers. But what I wanted to point out on this picture is look at the coloring. So typically your root chakra, where you sit, right? That's usually depicted as red. And up here on your crown chakra, or your third eye, they call it, right here in the middle of your forehead. It's right in front of your pineal gland, by the way. And up here on your chakra, top of your head is your crown chakra. So this is your third eye. That's usually purple, right? This is usually some kind of white or a bright light. But you'll notice right here in the center, just below your heart, if you take your heart, do this for me, just take your heart, and right at the top of where your collarbone meets, these 2 little nubs on your collarbone, if you come down 2 or 3 fingers, right there is where they say your heart chakra sits. That's your energy center. And you'll notice that's usually depicted as it's commonly green, but sometimes it's pink, but green typically. And then below that, you'll see the yellow for your solar plexus. You know, it's yellow, orange, and red down to your root chakra. The reason I bring that up is this. When David Hawkins, let me sit down for this. When David Hawkins started this quest, and this was a lifelong quest for him, he worked on this for decades. And he worked at finding how consciousness was mapped. In other words, what adds to our lives, what can take away from this energy machine, this power generation system that we have. And it's fascinating work. It's been tested across the planet. It's been tested by many, many, many different people. And the testing is done through kinesiology, muscle testing. The scale that you see here is done on what he created, what was called an energetic log. It is a logarithmic scale. And this power, so you'll see there, if you're looking at the screen, you'll see in the yellow range, remember that was your solar plexus area, right? Right below your stomach, right above your belly button area. That's where courage and pride set. Okay. So it splits almost down below the heart chakra are lower numbers, and above it are higher numbers. So you'll see in the purple that enlightenment on his energetic log would range from the number 700 to 1,000. You'll see in the same coloring that you would find in the third eye area or your throat chakra, the purple and the blue, you would see peace at 600, joy at 540, love at 500. But if you go down into the root chakra area, into the power center, your seat of power, so to speak, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, they all measured quite low on this logarithmic scale of 0 to 1,000. Now, he has plenty of books, and the book called Map of Consciousness, it maps all the creatures, it maps different job occupations, it maps all kinds. It's fascinating, just fascinating. Humans are fascinating. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just using it as a visual for you to consider. If you, like me, are grieving, then what that does is it brings your energetic level down, right? But if you are happy, if you have come to a level of acceptance, if you carry no attachments, a neutrality, what that does is it raises your energetic level logarithmically, and you have more energy. So it's a logarithmic scale. And when I've heard him speak maybe 3 or 4 times before he passed away, and I think it was sometime before the pandemic, maybe 14, 16, I can't remember the date he passed away. But he left his work behind and we could still use it. But it is one of the most fascinating things that shifted a perspective for me. And here's why. We all go through the crap, right? We all go through tough times. But when you can name the emotion and put it in its place without emotional attachment, I am pissed at that guy. I love what that person did. When you can name it and you begin identifying those emotions, that is raising your emotional quotient, your emotional intelligence. But take it a step further, you gain the power of understanding when you realize you can identify what is good for you and what may not be as good for you. And before I go any further, I have a video from Steve Harvey that kind of explains everything has a lesson. Let me share that with you. Hold on.
Blessing in everything. Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those two things. Pain always leaves a gift. Always. It's not going to change for you. The blessing could be is you have to have a career change. You didn't care about your job, no way. It just paid bills. It wasn't your dream job. It wasn't what you were to do the rest of your life. See, what people don't understand is when a door closes, all God is really saying to you is walk up the hall. It's some more doors, man. Quit thinking this is the only door available. When a door closes, could God be saying to you, walk up the hall? He got another door that's probably bigger and better that he wants you to go to. But if you standing there beating on the door, open this door back up, what y'all doing? What are you doing?
Right? Right? You got to shift that perspective, shift that kind of thinking. So David Hawking, and if you go out, if you were to pick any of David's books to start with, the one I would recommend, and I've probably bought 4 or 5 of these because I beat them up pretty good. But you can go out to Veritas Pub, Veritas, like the word truth in Latin, Veritas Pub or Veritas Publishing. And I think you can even get them on Amazon. But Power versus Force is the first book that I would look into if you're curious about this topic. If not, then just hang out. All right. But Power versus Force is the hidden determinants. Oh, hey, Lily. Nice to have you here, honey. Is the hidden determinants of human behavior. And you guys know that my professional career, that's kind of my jam, is understanding why people do the things that they do and how to get them to see a better or safer, in my world, a safer path. But that's the book I would start out with. And just so you have a better understanding is from his definition, power, things of power are those that are life-affirming, self-sustaining energy aligned with truth, integrity, compassion, and higher principles, the higher principles that I just showed you on the map of consciousness. It creates, it enlivens, and furthers evolution without effort or opposition. This is how we were built. We are power generating machines. So, and he uses an example of Gandhi's nonviolent resistance or any act of unconditional love. These are power. These are elements of power. It's invisible and it's recognized through inner awareness. Now, force, by contrast, and you can see this if you spend any time sucking in the news feed that's just on a rinse and repeat loop. It's god awful. I was on for about 2.5 minutes today just to see if I had missed anything, and I'm like, no, I really did not miss anything. So force, in contrast to power, is coercive. It's effortful. And it's temporary. It relies on control, manipulation, violence, or intimidation. What did George Washington do with that oath of allegiance? He refuted it. No control. You have no control. You have no power over me. You have no force over America. Yeah. So force are those things that consume energy, generate a counter force, resentment, conflict, Um, it ultimately weakens wars, authoritarian control, personal aggression exemplify force. He noted that force moves against something, while power stand as an attractive field that influences without struggle. Again, we are that power. We have forgotten through the conditioning and the programming and the systems that have broken our souls that we are powerful machines. And that is one of the reasons why here at the Do Better Ranch, anyways, I want to help rebuild humanity, to remind you that you are not your programming, you are not your conditioning. And that is why that high vibration shift, those folks are just, they're just resonating at such a high level for me up in the purple range for me right now. Let me see if I got, yeah, here's a 30-second clip. If you missed the intro, yeah, there's some Odos. Yeah, right, Ren?
I am the peace that I used to see. Love makes the ego look small and weak. See how love finds me every single day. See how kindness always leads the way. See how I am the frequency I hold. I am the spirit, I am the goal. See how blessings follow my name. I am the spark, I am the flame. Every new breath is an upgrade in time. I am abundance, I am divine.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm going to play some more of that on the a little bit later. But anyways, if you're interested in checking out the Map of Consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, it's absolutely incredible. He did things like registered, tested. I'll get into what that test looks like. Oh, nice. He'll get into like dolphins. What do dolphins show up as on the scale? What do whales, the blue whale, the sperm whale, certain places on the planet, the pyramids in Giza? You know, he measured anything and everything. Now, let's talk about how he did this through a non-traditional approach and ended up with a piece of work that has staying power, but not a large audience. Kind of like my show. So if you, now I'm pretty sure Lily knows how to do this. I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation. In fact, listen, if you know what muscle testing is, tell me in the chat. If you've never heard of this or heard of kinesiology, what's that guy's name? John Diamond, I think, is the guy that wrote a book on it. But muscle testing is something that you can use to help keep your vibration higher. And I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea. I'm just here to share information. I'm not going to judge one way or another. That would lower my vibration. So it's okay, Lily. I see you there, baby girl. Listen, one of the first ways I learned to muscle test, you can do it with two people, and typically you hold an arm out to the side and you just hold it at shoulder level, and you have somebody place two fingers on top of your fingers and ask a yes/no question. When the body knows it's a yes answer, it stays firm. When it's a no, it weakens. And it takes practice. It takes practice. But if you trust your body and know what you're talking about, you can easily do muscle testing. Now, that's great if you've got another person in the house and, you know, they're doing it with you. But you can also do it on your own. I've done it in the grocery store. I've done it before I've placed Amazon orders. And I've done some things like, what do I have here? Okay, so I've got this is sidebar. Okay, this is just a little container of, these are slippery elm lozenges. I am a professional speaker, so in my day job. And so what I do is I use those when I hear the scratch in my voice, the strain in my voice, and they will coat, you chew them up, they're chewable tabs, and they will coat my throat. If I get a cough or allergies, these are also great for that, but I mostly use it for voice work when I'm doing narrations for training or whatever. So here's these slippery elm lozenges, right? And I can put them in my hand, and I can just put it right here. Let me step back a minute, standing up. I can just put it right here at my solar plexus, right below where your rib cage ends, right above your belly button. Okay. And I can stand with my feet apart, and I can ask the question, are these slippery elm lozenges good? It's already doing. So if you couldn't tell on the camera, I was actually starting to lean forward, and that is a yes answer. If I went backwards or stumbled, it would be a no answer. So I typically just, I just like I did my very first one was on a packet of Sweet and Low, and I almost fell on my ass in the back. But it confirmed, the testing confirmed yes for me. So I'll just chew on these. Try not to be gross about it. But you can do muscle testing. Did you guys know about that? Oh yeah, it's great for the stomach too. If you have, these are great. I love these. No particular brand in mind. I used to get them in like a little Altoids tin, which was really cool. Altoids like tin. But slippery elm lozenges, it's a herbal throat support. These are 150. Unflavored. Yeah, I don't like the flavored ones. They try and make them like orange or cherry. Stop that. It doesn't have a bad flavor. So anyways, I just chew them and it does a nice coating on my throat. Awesome. Maybe I've had too much caffeine. My voice gets a little higher than I want it to be. This is what brings it back down. But muscle testing, whether you're doing the arm method or doing it just on your own, I like the testing on my own because I'm usually by myself, right? I can do it standing in front of something at the grocery store. Yes, you can. You can absolutely, Lily. Lily's over on the pill chat talking about slippery elm. You can get the herb and make a nice tea. It's lovely if you've got a cold or an allergy or scratchy throat, upset stomach. It's really, really good. Yes. Yes, powder for your tummy. Yes, ma'am. Yep. I like them. Ren, you're amazing. You are just amazing. Throwing it back and forth in the Rumble chat and the pill chat. God love you for that. Anyways, so I like that. Now, some of you may think this is woo-woo, but this is another way to do muscle testing, and you can use a pendulum. It's just a rock. I've used a necklace before. I've used all kinds of things. And you just practice and you say, asking yes, no questions. That's all I'm doing is asking yes, no questions. And I will do things like show me yes. And I watch which way the pendulum goes. And right now it's swinging back and forth. I'll say, show me no. And it changes and goes the other direction. And then I will ask yes, no questions to help me decide what adds to my power and what negates my power. Is this a good decision? Is this not a good's relative? Should I ingest this? Should I, whatever the case is, but it's yes, no questions. So you've got, just hold your soul that it's trust your gut. There's a reason why you can do muscle testing, kinesiology right here in your solar plexus. It's that gut feeling that you get. Gang, if you have questions about, should I give this to my dog? Should I give this to my cat? Should I give this to my bird? Will this sustain? Will this add to? Is it additive? Does it negate? And so I can ask those questions because I have tools that help me make better decisions. Ultimately, it's on me. I'm just sharing the possibility with you. You have the power to make these decisions. You have tools that will help confirm these decisions. Now, it still hasn't given me tall, dark, and handsome, but I continue to ask for the unicorn. Just saying, he's out there somewhere. So you can have a little fun with it. But anyways, this whole concept of power versus force is to get us to a place of peace, get you to a place of feeling fulfilled, feeling satisfied where you are, to move you higher on that map of consciousness. And I will tell you, he's no longer here in the town that I'm in Payson, Arizona. But Dr. William Tiller used to live here in town. And I actually saw him over at Dr. Hawkins' facility in Sedona. And he was talking about consciousness as well. And gang, you know the power of prayer. Maybe you don't realize the same power exists for meditation. The same power exists for help in your decisions. The same power to bring you the abundance that you deserve. The problem is we get in our own way. And we let things of force negate that power. Now, Dr. William Tiller did an experiment. This is back in 95 or 96. I can't remember. During the summer of 95 or 96, Dr. Tiller did an experiment. He had 100 people who volunteered to dedicate a week in Washington, D.C. Now, they weren't all physically there in D.C. There were many spread across the planet. And what they did was they focused their meditation, their prayer, their thoughts to reducing the crime week in DC for that week. You can look this up. And they did. In the 90s, DC was the murder capital of America. And when Tiller did this experiment of people, and you didn't have to be Buddhist, you didn't have to be Hindu, you didn't have to be Christian, you didn't have to be anything. Just meditated and embrace your power to reduce crime. They saw the city without crime. That is real power. You have been conditioned, you have been programmed not to use your power. Are you with me on this? You get what I'm putting down? It's out there. The power is out there. All you have to do is sit with it. And so back to the map of consciousness, you'll see anger, desire, fear at 150, 125, and 100. They are bringing down the power that you currently have available to you, right? And things where people who are antagonistic, they're disappointed all the dang time. They're afraid all the time. They get that guy. They're very punitive. They're oh, that couldn't happen to me. That couldn't happen here. They want justice. They're screaming for blood. Gang, that's not the way. That is not the way. Oh, yes. And if you get 2, please send them along. Thank you very much for that sticker, Lily. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Whew. Mercy. Lily, I just bought I tried a new kind of coffee. I on my retail therapy on Sunday, I found a kind of coffee at Home Goods called Tall, Dark, and Handsome, but he wasn't in the bag. No, he wasn't in the bag. So yeah, I keep looking though. Yeah. Ren wants triplets. Yes. We have to get to work. That's what we need to do. All right. Let me do a little music break with you. Gang, you guys know I love birds of all flavors. And I found these two posts out on TikTok that are just fun. So let the laughter out, full belly laughs, sing along if you want to, raise that vibration. You have the power. Let's do this. Diggity.
Diggity 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 hey. Diggity 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 hey. Diggity 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 hey. Diggity 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 hey.
I should play that on a loop for Boo. Here's another one.
Diggity 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 hey. 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 She is pretty young. So
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. Gang, you gotta laugh. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. The best is yet to come. Just hang on in there. And I say that paying $5.71 a gallon of gas today. All right, before I continue, and again, this is just I'm just passing along some things that are interesting to me. I'm not judging either way. I have used some of these. I don't continue always, so it's just out there. But you deserve a powerful life. You deserve noted, Ren, noted. Yes. Oh dear heaven. So, anyways, when I was thinking about the show, I like learning and I like learning different things, and I'm all across the board, right? But ultimately, my main goal is to help humans. That's what I want to do. I just want to ease your burden for a little bit, entertain you for a little bit, give you something to laugh at, maybe something to learn, maybe spark an interest in you somewhere. So thanks for playing along with me. I love the stickers, by the way, over in Pilled. Lily, thank you for the cockatoos. I love those crazy chickens. Oh, anyways, but I like learning. And before I continue with the power, I have one more sidebar of something I learned. Do you know, this is not bird related, do you know the word pronking? Pronking. Pronking. Do you know this word? Do you know this word? Pronking. I just learned this word this week. It has to do with llamas in the spring. Here, I have visuals. That right there, bouncing with all 4 feet off the ground at one time. That is pronking, and that is what llamas do to say they're happy in the spring. So how about that? All 4 off the ground. Yeah, that's kind of fun. All right, back to power. So whether you subscribe to muscle testing or have done any research into it, I find it fascinating. I find humans fascinating. But it leads me to what we were like before. Now, I have alluded to some of this. I know Ren and I have talked about this when she was a guest on my show, probably this time last year, or close to it, is the pre-civilizations, the architecture that we've seen questioned, let's put it that way. These beautiful cathedrals, these beautiful flying buttresses, the architecture that does not exist today, cannot be rebuilt today. The crap where they tell us that they had lots of people, it's human labor, like the pyramids, like the basilica, like St. Peter's Square, like the pre-World's Fair cities, Chicago. There was one in New York. I can't think of what city it was in New York. But these buildings that they tear down and feed us lies. One of the theories out there is before the mud floods, the dew weapons, whatever silver hat theory you'd like to subscribe to, that's your prerogative. But before all that happened, they allege that we had free power. We had free energy. And I am still waiting, President Trump, for that free energy. I'm still waiting. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing gas prices go up instead, and I'm not happy about it. But I also understand there's a plan and it's beyond my control. So there it is. Stay in the flow, right? But I want to throw a thought experiment out at you guys and see what you think. Can you imagine what our world would be like with free? Oh, hey. Hey, Ken, nice to have you here. You have detention, brother. Just saying. Can you imagine what it would be like if we had free energy? And there is several people who have done research into the resonance of the big stained glass windows, the cymatics involved in building some of those buildings. Heck, they even have monks in Tibet who use sound to levitate really big rocks. There's theories out there. Of course, you're not taught that in school. You're not taught to have power over your own cognition, power over your own perceptions. But I want you to think about if you didn't have to pay for energy, because every freaking thing we have has a meter on it, and somebody watching us right now, right? My water meter is a quote unquote smart meter. I had no choice. I have a smart meter on my electrical box, and I withheld for years until they said, if you don't get a smart meter, we're going to charge you $75 a month for maintenance because we have to send somebody out to read your meter. All right, that's not really a choice. Thank you very much. So I have a smart meter on my electrical box. I was forced into it. I'm not happy about that. But if you had free energy, what would that do to your life? If you didn't have to pay, think about it, just start with you. You didn't have to pay for fuel in your vehicle. You didn't have to pay to run your air conditioner or your heater or your lights or whatever electrical appliance. Oh, hey, here comes Java. Hey, welcome there, Raiders. Java is one of the best humans. Hey, Java has, if you guys don't know, Java is our host for Foxhole Squares. We don't have a show this week, which I'm kind of bummed about, but next week we have a show. So we family obligations. So anyways, back to this fuel thing. So if you didn't have to put gas in your gang, my truck is a big truck. It was a choice for me to buy said truck, but it's a 40-gallon tank. I took a picture of it. Hold on a second. What was that freaking nonsense? And I get paid well. I'm grateful for that. Yeah, here's my picture from freaking Circle K. I got 24.39 gallons of gas. It was $5.71 a gallon, and I paid $139.52. What? Now, at my salary, that hurts, but it doesn't hurt that bad. If that's what somebody makes in an afternoon or a day, that's a hardship. And I'm a little upset that we don't have free energy because it's out there. The technology is out there. But think about it. If you had free energy, not only is it you not buying or paying those utility bills or those petrol costs at the pump, right? Whether it's diesel or gasoline or biofuels or electric at the charging stations if you have an electrical car, right? But think about it. That would free up a little money, right, in your life. And maybe that puts you in a position to help other people. Gang, that's that dose we were just talking about a half hour ago. that the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, that dose of goodness when we get to help somebody else. But wait, there's more. What about the cost of our consumables? Now, maybe like Bard's clothing and our story about George Washington wanting to wear American made suits from American made fabrics. Maybe there's no fuel cost to get the product to the stores or distribution centers. There's no cost for the fuel to get it to your house. So the price of those items goes way, way down, right? This is a ripple effect. And until you can start picturing it, we can't bring that into reality. Yeah. Yeah. All that stuff, if you remove the energy from the equation, it's very complicated to do it. I mean, think of the trillions of dollars that these oil companies are, especially the ones who are refining. Think about how much money they are making right now. Now, I'm not holding it against them. That's capitalism. But they're also employing humans, and those humans are there because they have dreams outside of those jobs that they deserve to fulfill, to start families, to lift up their families. They deserve that. They deserve that wage that oil refinery provides them. No different than a lumberjack, no different than somebody sitting in Cubeville in corporate America. All workers are there because they have dreams and have wants and have needs beyond just the base necessities, beyond just surviving another freaking day. Now, I did catch a clip where President Trump was talking about removing the federal tax on fuel to ease the burden. I'm not happy about that. Okay, it's something, right? But that's not exactly what you think it is. So here in the state of Arizona, if you didn't know, your mileage may vary. Here in the state of Arizona, there is a 38 cents per gallon federal tax on fuel. So every gallon of fuel, so I just got 24 and a half. So what is that? $9.60 some cents, $10 just went to the feds for the gas purchase that I made today for my truck. But that's the feds. There's a state matching 38 cents per gallon that goes to the frickin' cartel, also known as the Arizona government. And while President Trump taking away the federal tax on fuel is helpful, at $5.71 a gallon, that's still not enough. There's got to be a better way. We need to release the power. We know it's out there. We know about Nikola Tesla. We know that free energy exists. You see story after story where people have disappeared. Stanley, what's the guy that had the car that ran on water? Stanley, he disappeared. Stanley Miller? Somebody can look that up for me. Who's that? Yeah, Lily, I don't know I could look that up. I don't know what Grok would probably tell me what the state tax on fuel is for each state. It's ridiculous, right? Yeah, he should very well know. Yeah, his uncle was, that's Trump's friend. Yeah, Trump's uncle was one of the guys who allegedly went into Tesla's apartment when he mysteriously died and got all of his records. His Uncle John. Stanley Meyer. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and there used to be, I don't know if it's still out there, but he had come up with a car that ran on water. Water. Free energy could happen. It can happen. But until you get rid of those low energy fields, that low vibration power force, the forces, not power, the manipulating, yeah, that's it, Ren. Thank you. Oh my God, Lily, it's 61.2 cents per gallon. Holy hell. It's criminal. Gang, we are more than free range tax chickens. We deserve better. And I'm still holding hope that it is coming. I know it's difficult right now. So, continue to hang in there. It's not pretty. People on fixed incomes, people with low incomes, it is super tough right now. It is just ungodly tough to just make it through another day. Yeah. Ohio Kimmy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I just saw Ghost Pepper pop in and give us a red pill. Thank you very much. By the way, if you haven't done it already, can you do the things? Hit the buttons, the red pill, the thumb, the heart, whatever, wherever you might be. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. But gang, I bring this up because there was a time in the not so, oh, thank you, Ghost Pepper. Ghost Pepper. Just slobbered on myself. Ghost Pepper was just one of our contestants on Foxhole Squares last Saturday night. He always does a good job. Yep. That's awesome. Yep. Ren, you're out there on YouTube too doing comments. Holy smokes, girl. I need to pay you to be my moderator. Holy cow. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of power, yeah, let's talk about those data centers. Now, you know that muscle testing I was telling you about where you can put your hands over your solar plexus. I held my slippery elm lozenges, and if you fall forward, that's a yes. If you stumble backwards, that's a no. But I saw somebody and immediately my freaking bullshit meter, that's a bull, and that's, the stuff, bullshit meter went redlined. Somebody said that our hate for these data centers is equivalent to what people thought about like electricity before there was electricity in every home. And my freaking BS meter just went completely redlined. Listen, they are messing with groundwater. They are pulling power. They are pulling the things that neighborhoods survived. Housing prices are crashing wherever those data centers go in. That it is a crisis in the making. But I also feel like there is a red flag. It's a herring for something else too. Ohio Kimmy, thank you for the cookie. Honey, I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Hey, Ghost Pepper. Lily, you're so cute. But next week, I'm going to talk about water. I have a little insider information on groundwater and management of groundwater because of the work that I do. Again, not giving away state secrets, just explaining how things work that you may not have run into before. So, yeah, it's bad. The vibrations are bad. The hertz is bad. Oh, thank you for the cookie, Ghost Pepper. Oh, I love that. And, I'll just pay that forward. So thank you very, very, very much. Yeah, it will kill the land, Lily, and the critters that are on that. when I when I used to drive to California, going across the desert, you just see mile after mile along Interstate 8 of solar fields. And that's great while the sun's shining, and it shines a lot here in Arizona. But I will tell you, there's critters out there that may not like those solar panels being over them. They may not like you blocking out the sun of their little gopher holes. But nobody even cares about the little creatures, right? So, Lily, is that your little dog? Is that Timmy in that sticker? Did you make a sticker out of Timmy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so cute. Anyways, I'm going to talk about water on next week's show. I'll maybe even come back and talk about Stanley a little bit. But gang, before, I know this date keeps surfacing almost in every show that I do, but pre-1870. Gang, that is a magic demarcation in the line. You guys know what happened there. We got sold out just before the Fed in 1913, before we had a real constitution, but the constitution may have got hijacked, corporations created. Yeah. Oh, that's not Timmy, but it looks kind of like him. But, I asked Grok, how did those big structures, how did those big buildings, the pictures you've probably seen from the state fairs. Oh yeah, they just built it for the state fair and then they destroyed it. No, that's more lies. And even Grok is delusional. He told me that pre-1870 power, the mechanical energy for industry, transportation, was generated almost entirely through renewable or biological sources. Horses, right? Moonshine, maybe. Steam, a lot of steam, right? But he alludes to the fact that electricity was just experimental. Maybe these data centers are a red flag for us right now. Maybe they're like electricity. Maybe we're not getting the full story, right? So there's more to dig through on that. But let me go back to pre-1870. So you had human and you had animal muscle power, right? I mean, we still measure our vehicles in horsepower. How many horses equivalency is the power of that engine, right? We still have that. And people have been using animal power, not just horses. They've been using all kinds of things to move, like the pronking llamas, for instance. They had biomass, so wood, charcoal, even dung. Some of my favorite potters that out of Mexico, Pequeme is one of the places in the Sonoran state of Sonora in Mexico, just over the border from Arizona. Mata Ortiz. Look that one up. Juan Quesada is who came up with, he reestablished pre-Columbian ceramic art in his little town of Mata Ortiz, Mexico. Beautiful stuff. But he used dung, because that's what they used in pre-Columbian times, for firing pottery. And just beautiful designs. He researched the entire process, found little shards, tried a bunch of things to make it work until he got the art just right. I was lucky enough to take a workshop with him. He doesn't speak English, so he spoke through a translator, and it was just delightful. I mean, it was just a great experience. Anyways, back to this. Water power. Grist mills, water wheels, those kind of things powered motion. Yep. Not a quesadilla. Lily. I love how her brain works. Oh my God. But you had sawmills, you had grain mills, textile, you had forging, all of that ran on the power of water. The way our society is right now, though, power has to be distributed, right? It has to be generated, it has to be transmitted. And then when it gets to the substation, which is in your neighborhood, and if you're not in the business, you probably drive by it and not even realize it. When I look at the power lines, I can tell now, after being at a utility for many years, which are transmission lines and which are distribution lines. And I can see the signs of substations everywhere. So you're at a coal-fired power plant, you're at a solar field, you're at a hydroelectric dam, you're at a propane, gas, and steam-powered generating plant. All that energy that gets made gets transmitted out across those wires to a substation somewhere to get it to you. That substation scales down the power, brings it out to the distribution lines. The distribution lines go to the neighborhood. Neighborhoods have little transformers on the street or cans up on the phone poles. And then you have the feed that goes into each dwelling or business that would need that power. Gang, if we didn't make power that way, all those wires go away. Because energy is free. It cannot be destroyed. It is there. You just have to capture it. But right now, since 1870, we transmit it, we distribute it, we scale it down for feeds into our houses. What if we didn't need that? What if I didn't have to have 50 freaking million cords plugged into something and we just had devices that through a little magnetic seal could pull the energy out of the ether and power my lights, power my computer, power my life, basically, right? That's what we're talking about. You had wind, you had solar, you had human, you had fire, steam, but the problem is that before 1870, you went where the power was. And before that, it was us at campfires looking for safety, right? There's safety at the fire. You stay with your tribe. If you leave the campfire, you're on your own. You have to go out and fend for yourself. You can go, but when you go, you lose all the safety, all the security, all the camaraderie that comes with your tribe at the campfire. You go off, now you got to do it all for yourself, or you find another tribe to become part of. And maybe they let you in, maybe they don't. Gang, we sailed the seas for eons under wind power. Could we do it again if the power companies weren't there? Please don't do that until I retire, though. It's a burden I bear, right? You need power to live your life. You deserve it at a reasonable cost. Power is a big percentage of your day-to-day expenses. Not just what you put in your gas tank, not just what you pay to have your lights, but it's the food that you buy had to be transported from somewhere, and they had to put some type of fuel in that vehicle, airplane, boat, truck, whatever it is, to get it to you. So thinking forward, as we rebuild America, how can we do this better? You've got people that are fear-mongering that China's going to get us and Russia's going to get us. And we have to harden the grid. That's not a euphemism for something. That is literally the verbiage that people that I work with use. Hardening the grid, right? Yeah, I believe it too, Ren. 100%. I am still a believer, and I'm willing to die on that hill. What she said was, I still believe these things are coming. A whole new world. We can't even imagine it because we're so used to corporations. And that's the point, right? They are coming. But until we start seeing a new possibility, we are slaves to our own conditioning and programming and the rinse, repeat, feed me again news cycle. There was a time before power companies. There was a time of wealth and abundance on this planet. It existed, and there is archaeological records to prove it. Here, let me do this one more time. I'm gonna play this song, and if you guys missed it, if you weren't here at the beginning, I'm gonna replay the opener song. Ignore the text on the screen. Just listen to the words of this song. Just listen to this song.
I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am whole. Peel back the layers of who worshipped me, the old conditioning, the past history. I strip away the labels, the weight and the names. I step out to shadows and out of the gates. My trials were clouds, not the sky that is true. I return to the essence, I'm starting anew. I stop living in moments that no longer exist. I release every memory I used to resist. The past has no power, the past has no tone. I find the melody I've always sung. I don't waste my breath from the if or the why. I let the old versions fade out and die. I am here in the now where the magic begins. This is the moment where light always wins. I choose my freedom over their mistakes. I heal the root when my power awakes. I don't hold a grudge, I don't carry the weight. I release the anger, I release the regret. Forgiveness is how I remain so secure. No bitterness lives in the temple I build. I move through the world and I feel so fulfilled. I am love, I am light, the frequency shining through the night. I am the source, I am the flow, the only truth I need to know. Every person I meet is a mirror I see, reflecting the state of the love inside me. If I see a shadow, I shine even more, until love is the only thing left on the floor. Nothing outside has control of my feel. To the power of love, I'm completely healed. I am the peace that I used to see. Love makes the ego look small and weak. See how love finds me every single day. See how kindness always leads the way. See how I am the frequency I hold. I am the spirit, I am the goal. See how blessings follow my name. I am the spark, I am the flame. Every new breath is an upgrade in time. I am abundance, I am divine. I am love, I am light, the frequency Negative energy has no place in my mind. I leave all the heaviness drifting behind. The highest vibration is where I reside, with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. I am the ripple, I am the sea, I am the love that sets everyone free. My heart is an open, eternal door. I don't need to search for signs anymore. I am the answer, I am the way, I am the sun in the middle of day. I am grounded in truth, rooted in peace. As I love myself, all struggles cease. I rise above drama, I rise above strife. I am the master of my own life. I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am hope. I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am whole.
Isn't that? I just love that. It's gotten into my, I play it on repeat. And again, just a quick shout out to the High Vibration Shift for letting me license that to use it freely on the show. Thank you. Thank you. Love that. Now, listen, let's talk about this future that's coming. And here's a couple things to consider when it comes to free power. Pollution. If energy's free and you're not burning coal, you're not burning wood, you're not making steam, making heat, pollution goes away. You're not filling up rivers. You don't need petrochemical products. Maybe you power desalination for water abundance. I'm going to get into the whole water thing next week for sure. Now I got to, the whole thing, desalination, groundwater, all of it next week. Lifestyle changes. Your home would always be comfortable to you. You deserve that, right? You're not keeping your thermostat here in Arizona or Phoenix in the valley at 82 just because your energy costs are so high. No. So travel becomes ubiquitous and cheap, which is great. Hyperloops. I just saw a video of a maglev train in Japan. Super fast, like 340 miles per hour. Awesome. Maglev, elevated magnetic trains. So we can do this. Let's see, power dynamics. So fossil fuel dependencies and conflicts, thing of the past. Energy abundance could foster cooperation. More partnerships, less conflict, higher in that map of consciousness. Gang, I have high hopes for the future, right? And I think our whole system of government is about to change drastically for the better, Less harassment of the free-range tax chickens, more abundance for everybody. I feel it in my bones. I know it's coming. Yeah. Well, yes, that's a creepy factor. Yeah, I follow Brian Remley. I've talked about him many times on the show before. He's an amazing resource out on X. Brian Remley, Roemmele, Remley. He talks about that quite a bit. I'm also following Mark Andreessen. He keeps his eye on that. Who's the Forbes guy? Ashton Forbes. Follow that guy. He's keeping his eye on that stuff too. Yeah, it's creepy. We were just talking at work about putting dual-facing cameras in the cab of our fleet vehicles and anticipating the pushback of what our drivers our field crews, anybody that drives one of the big bucket trucks, the big auger trucks, all that heavy equipment, they might push back and be demanding of not wanting to have themselves videotaped. And I'm like, hello, this little device you carry around in your pocket or sitting right beside you, it's spying on yourself all the time. Your computer's spying on your TV, spying on you. If you got smart appliances, they're freaking spying on you. My smart water meter's spying on me. It wants to know how many times I'm flushing the freaking toilet. That you don't need to know that. Why? If you didn't need to know that, we wouldn't need data centers. Just saying. What are you doing with all the data? I think there's something highly sketchy going on about that. Anyways, all right. So listen, I'm going to wrap up the show here and just leave you with this. Good things are ahead. We're doing this for the kids. We're doing this for the future. Listen to this little voice. Listen to, the sweetness in this little voice. Listen to her.
Alligator in a wild crocodile. Give a hawk, ladybug, blow a fish, jellyfish. See you soon, big one out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Wave goodbye, butterfly.
That's just too sweet, gang. I know you're going to have hard days because I have hard days. We all do, right? We all do. Listen, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you listening to me rant on for a couple hours. I really enjoy the new folks that joined us in the chat and all the stickers over there. Really, seriously, if you're out on YouTube or X or even Rumble, get you a Pilled.net account. Come hang out with us and do fun things over on Pilled. But thank you very much for being here. I'm going to leave you with a little, this is the promo video that I used for the show, but I'll catch you back here. I start at 5:55 West Coast time, 5:55 p.m. on Wednesday nights. I'm Denise, signing off from the Do Better Ranch. Thanks for being here.